To Hockenheim. Finally, the new season of the DTM 2012 has begun, and we're very, very honored that the Formula One star Michael Schumacher is here today in Hockenheim, and he just did a few demonstration laps, and of course we're very excited to be talking to him now and to get a feel of the new DTM from him as he just did a few laps here, and I'm sure he is thrilled. Hello, Michael. Welcome here to Hockenheim. You just did a few demonstration laps. What do you think of the new DTM era? How does it feel?
Well, it's pretty impressive to see three sort of manufacturers, complete new regulation, and then to have a starting grid being so tight, so mixed. Yeah, I'm very happy to see this. And it should be relating to a good afternoon. Get all the spectators, and it's a full house, so well done and congratulations for this. To have an enjoyable afternoon.
Right, well, do enjoy. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, the race is going to begin in just a few minutes. And here are now the commentators, Andrew Marriott and Dave Richardson.
Thanks very much, Verena. We're excited to 22 cars on the grid. The whole field split by just 1.4 seconds, and there's 10 nations represented. And I don't need to tell you that there's not two manufacturers. It's not just Mercedes and Audi. It is also BMW. And I can tell you that BMW are right up to speed. Let's check out the track with the Hankook animation.
So then the graphics for this illustration of the Hockenheim circuit here, and we have a BMW and an Audi. That's not always going to be the case, Andrew. We're going to split those manufacturers up during the course of the season. And here we go with our first lap of the Hockenheim circuit.
Yeah, into that first north turn, big runoff here. Still in the stadium section here. We understand that there's well over 100,000 people here today. Then the right-hander, which leads to the big parabolica corner. I think they just named that the Bernie Eccleston curve last year. And now the fastest section of the track. We're heading, for those in miles per hour, way up into the high hundreds here. Down to the very tight hairpin, down to first gear. Then the shoot down a bit of the old original straight here. And then another difficult right-hander. BMW there, you see the new colours, car based on the M3. All the chassis are, of course, the same. It's the same actual chassis for all three manufacturers. About 45 of the parts are common. You can just see the little red dot there, if you can just locate that. We're just coming into the Sachs curve, into the stadium section now. And then this is all very tight here. This circuit really has got two different aspects to it, the fast bit round the back and then this stadium section, long right sud curve here. Got to get good drive out of here to get down that pit straight, and that is a lap here of the Hockenheim circuit, the Grand Prix track, 4.574 kilometers. We're going to have 40 laps.
I'm now here with the DTM champ 2011, Martin Tomczyk, the #1, and it was your first qualifying now this season. You're starting in P10. Are you all right with that, or are you a little disappointed?
I mean, first race you have to see the overall result for BMW, and that's definitely amazing. I mean, 4 cars in the top 10. It's just a nice feeling, you know. Hard work over the winter, and now we just prove it that the work we did was the right one. It's just a nice feeling now. For my position, P10 for sure. I'm not as happy as I should be, but definitely it's okay, I would say, for the first race. Now we're looking forward for this race, and we see if I can gain some positions in the race.
Now everybody's talking about the new era of the DTM. How does it actually feel?
It's a great feeling. I mean, to have 3 manufacturers here on track. I mean, it was already when I came here to the racetrack. It was a very cool feeling, a special feeling, especially when I drove out the first time for free practice, to have all 3 manufacturers on the track. And I mean, spectators, it's completely sold out here in Hockenheim. The weather is nice. Everything seems to be perfect. As well, the qualifying, it was very close between the 3 manufacturers. So we will see what's going on in the race, but I guess we show the spectators a very great and tough race.
That'd be interesting to see. I'm crossing my fingers. Thank you so much, Martin, and now we're looking forward to a very exciting race.
We most certainly are, and here is in pole position for the 19th time, the former champion Ekstrom. Alongside him, Jamie Green, winner last time out, and then 3 and 4, Dirk Werner, surprise then, Eduardo Mortara. Then we've got Mike Rockenfeller in Tomczyk's old colours, and Gary Paffett, a former champion. Andy Priaulx, 3 times World Touring Car champion, and a double DTM timer, Timo Scheider. Bruno Spengler came close to the title, and Martin Tomczyk, his big rival from last season. Ralf Schumacher and Adrien Tambay, the young Frenchman, impressive then in 12th spot. Then it's Rob Wickens, fresh from all that success in single-seaters, Felipe Albuquerque, Canada and Portugal. Christian Vittoris, and from Sacramento, California, Joey Hahn, first American full-time in the series. Molina from Spain, and David Coulthard, all that Grand Prix success behind him. Then it's another WTCC runner, Augusto Farfus, and the F3 champion, Mary. And at the back, the 2 girls, Susie Wolf and Rahal Frey.
And now I'm here with Matthias Ekström. You're starting in pole position, obviously the perfect positions to start, but we saw yesterday in the qualifying it is very competitive, even more so than the years before, it seems. How optimistic are you that you're going to end up on the podium?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to find guys like Jamie Green and Mercedes, and Dirk Werner from BMW was strong yesterday, so it will be interesting to see what pace they have. We have done everything we can now, though, and I hope it's enough.
And you've got good speed, you've got a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling is good, it's just a matter if it's good enough.
We'll find out in just a few minutes. Thank you so much, Eki, and back to you, Andrew and Dave.
Yeah, typical Eki, the 04 and 07 champion. Had an awful start to last season, Dave, but came on strongly at the end, winning 3 races, but there was the man who took the title. There you see one of our first shots of that superb BMW, Bruno Spengler. BMW, of course, hiring away 2 of the top talents, and then they have 6 cars, Dave, but the other 2 teams have 8.
And absolutely crucial in the build-up to this for BMW, I think it's fair to say, Andrew, is the fact that they have got some experience into that team, isn't it, with, as you've said, Bruno Spengler, a couple of old experienced DTM drivers in amongst Augusto Farfus and Andy Priaulx.
Absolutely right, and of course Dirk Werner has done such a great job. BMW back into the DTM after 19 years. They won their very first DTM race, which was the very first DTM race actually, and they won their last one as well. Can they do it here? There's Timo Scheider, double champion, won it back to back, of course, in 08 and 09. Should be a strong runner today. Lots of new things to tell you about the DTM. We'll go through them during the race coverage. Here is Andy Priaulx, 3 times World Touring Car champion and a European Touring Car champion the year before that, which is effectively a world champion. On the stamp, Gary Paffett. And Gary had a disappointing season last year. Of course, he was also a McLaren F1 test driver. Well, I think he'll come back strong this year. There, Team Phoenix colours, and Mike Rockenfeller now flies those, and Rocky, the winner of Le Mans in 2010. Expect to see a very strong performance by Mike Rockenfeller. Moving down the grid then, you see MOR. That's what we see on our timing screens. That's new for this year. Eduardo Mortara, second year in the DTM, 2 years ago, the F3 champion. Now, here's a bit of a surprise. Dirk Werner was the fastest of the BMW 6 squad. Dirk Werner actually got into the final 4 shootout, and both he and Mortara had their times disallowed for minor infringements. It didn't make any difference to the grid. Jamie Green just getting some final instructions. Jamie Green won the last race here in the October meeting last year, last race of the old DTM. The Monaco-based man from Leicester. But Mr. Cool, Matthias Ekstrom getting ready. Been a pretty good weekend for Swedes already. We had a couple of third places from Swedes in the F3. Looking down on the circuit, and there's the grid again, Dave.
Yes, confirmation of the grid. Matthias Ekstrom then pole, Jamie Green alongside Dirk Werner then third on the grid, Edo Mortara fourth, Mike Rockenfeller fifth, Gary Paffett sixth place on the grid, Andy Prio seventh, Timo Scheider eighth, Bruno Spengler ninth, Martin Tomczyk in 10th position on the grid with Ralf Schumacher 11th, Adrian Tambay, as Andrew said, very good showing from him, 12th on the grid, Robert Wickens, then it's Felipe Albuquerque, Christian Viatoris, Joey Hand, Miguel Molina, David Coulthard, Augusto Farfus, Roberto Merri, Susie Wolf and Ralph Frey then bringing up the rear of the grid for this, the start of the new era in DTM at Hockenheim.
The big names watch on. There's big names in the cars as well. There's board directors from all these motor manufacturers, and they know that this series sells cars, and they know that winning sells more cars. The green light, the red lights, the green flag, and they go out, and the DTM 2012 is go, and Rocky makes a good start. Rocky's coming through, look, but it's Ekstrom who turns into the first corner first, and it looks a pretty clean start so far. A few of them out wide, but we expect that. Nice clean start, Dave Richardson.
Yes, in some of the other races that we've seen, the pole position has sometimes been disadvantageous because of the position on the track, and I was watching like a hawk on Jamie Green. I expected him to take advantage of that, but actually, no question about it, Ekstrom got the best start there.
Yeah, and it seems the first three have broken away a little bit. I'm sure that will float up. Here we are for the first section of the race, and indeed, those three have broken away, and there's Mike Rockenfeller. Mike, they're down at this hairpin, right down to first gear, and Rocky goes wide. And we got a spinner in the pack there. Was that Coulthard? I think maybe it was.
So there we can see that Ekstrom and, as Andrew has said, the first three beginning to break away a bit. The one to watch, Mike Rockenfeller, absolutely flying from the very start of this race, but it's Ekstrom, Green. There is Ekstrom going through. There's Green. There's Mortara.
Yeah, Mortara got a good start. Cars ducking and diving here.
So the car that went round, I suspect, not Coulthard, because that's Coulthard there.
Yeah, that's Coulthard there. It's the other E-Post car. So some brilliant shots from our heli
Hockenheim circuit, and this, the first DTM of 2012, and their confirmation of the way it looks at the moment. It's Ekstrom from Green, from Mortara, from Gary Paffett in 4th place, Mike Rockenfeller 5th, and Werner in 6th place.
Yeah, so Werner's dropped back a little bit. He's the one that's gone backwards. And it was actually Scheider that went round, David. It was Scheider.
Wow.
Should have spotted that, but at the start of the new season, and new colours, Timo Scheider it was who went round, is now at the back of the pack. And there he was, and he got a nudge as well.
Yes, a shunt there from Ralf Schumacher, I think it was.
Yeah. see it from a different angle. And Tomczyk's down the inside. He was lucky there, wasn't he? Nearly could have T-boned him. This is the Timo Scheider view, but he definitely got a tap, the former double champion. Let's see what Timo can do from the back now. With that, Jamie Green's just put in the fastest first sector.
And Paffett looking very, very lively, and Paffett goes through to take up a third position, Andrew.
Yeah, really, Gary, so disappointed with his season last year. I mean, endemic of what happened to him. He's having a really good run at the Norris ring, and he had something break in the steering and went into the wall when he might have had a podium position there. But, you know, make no mistakes, Gary Paffett is a superb driver. He's a great DTM driver. So unlucky maybe to miss out on a Formula One chance. And, yeah, good move from the big Arsenal fan, Gary Paffett. He's always tweeting about Arsenal success. Ekstrom, Green, Paffett, Mortara, the French-Italian. Spengler down there in 9th. Joey Hand still in 18th ahead of Mary Wolf. Timo Scheider's picked off Rahal Frey already.
And yes, he's got some work to do now, Andrew, hasn't he, following that turnaround?
Yeah, he'll be lucky if he gets in the points from that. It's just so competitive. These cars still sound great, although they've all got a common ECU V8 engines.
Oh! And
that was Schumacher again, wasn't it?
Schumacher and Spengler having a tussle there, and that tussle ends up in what a time he's having of it.
Yeah. Well, goodness me.
Now, there's Berner, who will be absolutely livid, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, there's a bonnet goes flying.
Now
it's all happening here.
That's off Spengler's car for sure.
Yeah.
And there is Spengler's car. It looks a different beast now at the front.
Yeah, I think the aerodynamics is compromised.
Oh.
Yellow flags. Well, 2 bonnets have gone, look. And it's not just the same brand that lost a bonnet. You know, the BMW and the Audi without their bonnets. And the incident between cars 4 and 6 under investigation by the stewards. And that's Timo Scheider and Ralf Schumacher. That's the first incident, isn't it? Let's take us through this. One of those things, wasn't it? Can you really put all the blame on Ralf for that? Not sure you can.
No.
Well, there's the
bonnet going.
Yeah, there's a bit of light carbon fibre. It just flies like a kite into the air.
Yes, that reached some height into the air, didn't it?
No weight in it, of course.
So then, here is Spengler then.
Yeah, lots of steam coming off the car. They've taken the door off. Why have they done that?
It almost looked like they were taking the door off to act as some sort of a...
Well, a shield, but maybe it was a shield from a camera or something. Maybe there's something in there they don't want other people to see. Ekstrom, Green, Paffett. Midfield, all this action. Tombe was involved in that incident as well. Well, up front, well, hopefully this race will start settling down. So Ralf Schumacher involved in 2 incidents. It's just a very crowded racetrack.
It is crowded, and
got that chain reaction. Oh, goodness me, down the back of the field there. That's Farfus in
Augusto Farfus in that.
Yeah.
And that was Tomczyk there, and Augusto Farfus. So wherever we look at the moment, it's littered with incident, Andrew. And as you say, hopefully we're on lap 4 of 40. It will settle down.
Drive-through penalty for car number 6.
So Ralf Schumacher does get...
He does. We've got a BMW in here with bodywork damage. Yeah, causing an avoidable collision. Well, yeah, I wonder if we'll get another drive-through to the other one.
So now what's happening here? Ekstrom then. So right alongside Ekstrom is Paffett. Ekstrom has slowed. So Green has gone through.
Yeah, while we saw those pit stops, suddenly something happened there.
Absolutely. So we're on board with Gary Paffett, looking forward to the Ekstrom car, but you can see there Jamie Green has gone through, and now Paffett does it as well. So whether there's a problem there with Ekstrom's car,
I expect we'll get a replay of that. So Jamie Green leading as he did here last October. Here is Ekstrom. Ekstrom gone from 1 to 3. Now what's happening here? Big lockup. And went wide, that was it, that's all it took.
Yeah, and that was all it needed, wasn't it, for Jamie Green to take advantage of that. And then Gary Paffett really able to pile the pressure onto him, Andrew.
Yeah, because Gary still had the momentum going, didn't he? So, well, you know, Matthias Ekstrom does not make many mistakes like that. But under a lot of pressure.
So a different face to the front of this race now. The 1, 2, 3, Jamie Green. Then it's Gary Paffett. Then it's Ekstrom. We're on board with Paffett. Just a replay of how he was able to get up the inside here and make that count. Going into that tight corner, was able to scrub enough and hold on. But that is where Ekstrom, as you say, made a very uncharacteristic mistake, Andrew.
Yeah, and victories are won and lost in the DTM on one single incident like that. And Jamie Green came into the season really feeling up. Thought that he really had a chance of taking the title this year. Thinks he has a chance of taking the title this year. And this is a way to launch into it, isn't it? Green, Paffett. And it's Ekstrom. Mutara holding up his end very well. Then down Rockenfeller. Then Prio, the best of the BMs. Werner just started on the second row. He's now running down in 19th place after his dramas. Wickens, should mention him. He's now in 11th. And David Coulthard, who we wrongly accused of spinning. David Coulthard is up to 10th.
So here's Ralf Schumacher then taking that penalty for causing an avoidable collision. He gets a drive-through penalty. That's going to knock him down the order now. Ralf Schumacher takes that penalty. Is back out on track again now.
Seen Farfus going through, the first Brazilian. He's running in 15th place at the moment. But it's Green with a 1.1 second advantage. Cars running about 3 seconds slower than they did in the qualifying. Martin Tomczyk being pacified there. Not a way to defend your championship, is it?
So on board with Gary Paffett then, who is chasing down the leading Jamie Green at the moment. And further down the order, very, very close, Andrew. Continuing to battle here. Susie Wolf we just saw at the back end of that shot, but this is back with the leading pair. And we can see from on board, brilliant shot from Gary Paffett's car as he takes quite a bit of curb there. And here a replay.
Yeah, Mary getting a bit of a nudge. And one of those bits of bodywork coming off from Timo Scheider. As Timo Scheider tries to make his way back through the field, and he's a hard charger, Timo Scheider. And now he comes into the pits. It's just, you see, from the right as front as it comes to it, actually the left front. See that bodywork damage.
Now, another part of the...
This doesn't look like doesn't look like a quick pit stop to me. They're changing the tyres. Somebody will have a look at the bodywork. These pit stops we're expecting to see in 3 seconds, so they're assessing the car and the damage. Didn't look a big bump, did it?
No, it didn't.
Maybe there's some damage to the front suspension. Maybe took a quick look at that. Obviously, the handling won't be quite as on the par as it was before. So quite a few big names getting involved in incidents here. Spengler already out, Tarnbay out, and Martin Tomczyk out. Timo Scheider. Pit stop he didn't expect has cost him time. Ralf Schumacher's had a drive-through penalty. David Coulthard's up to 9th place, just behind Vitoris.
So we can see here the battle between Meri and Augusto Farfus there. Meri, one of those drivers that's being mentored by Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, Roberto Meri, one of the Mercedes juniors. Success last year, stunning success actually in the F3 Euro Series. There's Team RBM, who are running 2 of the BMWs.
And there another fantastic heli shot of our leading pair at the moment. Jamie Green there in the resplendent, shimmering, almost chrome effect bodywork.
Yeah.
And then the black of Gary Paffett right behind.
So, Brits 1 and 2, Mercedes 1 and 2.
Now going in, Green seemed more confident than for a long, long time perhaps. And of course, Gary Paffett will be absolutely determined to put behind him what was a very, very ordinary season for him last season.
Oh, absolutely right. And here we go on board with Gary Paffett. Seems to be closing up a little bit, Dave.
And I think we can cross now to Verena Wright, who's got Martin Tomczyk.
Yes, indeed. Martin is here with me. That was a very unfortunate situation there, and the race ended very, very much too soon for you. What exactly happened from your point of view?
I mean, I can't say it now because I have to look the television pictures. But anyhow, I got kicked around in the first laps. I never had it so far in DTM. So perhaps everyone was a bit over-motivated at the first race. Nevertheless, I think we proved that our car is fast enough to be on the top. I think it would be a very good race for us today. Unfortunately, I'm out now, so let's try to get a louder string. But actually, it's a pity and it's a shame to stand already here and have to watch the first race.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Martin, and back to you.
Thanks very much, Verena. Very magnanimous.
Kicked around, but didn't say by who. Coulthard in 9th, one of his best showings in the DTM. He's had a couple of points in his 3 years. Last year, the Norris Ring got into the points. Points have also changed. We've gone to the Formula 1 World Championship point system for this year. A lot of changes. Just looking at the split times, and Gary Paffett just gone purple. Thought we might be seeing these on the screen. Meanwhile, passing with Gary Paffett closing on Jamie Green. Here's a replay of the start.
That's where I expected Jamie Green to take advantage, because he is effectively on the inside, but an absolutely lightning start, wasn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, perfected that loading it up on the brakes situation. And meanwhile, Dirk Werner went backwards. He was the real loser in that. Rocky's he's down there in 5th place at the moment. But Green is flying. Fastest lap of the race thus far for Jamie Green. Chiseled. Fastest lap of the race now for Gary Paffett. Paffett has gone faster than Green, just clipped off 0.2 of a second. Ekstrom there in 3rd place, but he's 4 seconds behind the flying 3-pointed star of Paffett and Green, 2 Brits at the front.
And we're on board with Paffett as a replay of that start as we go live now from our helicam, and we can see the battle between Jamie Green and Gary Paffett here.
Pit stop window is now open, so there you see the screen.
So on board with Gary Paffett, then continuing to chase down Jamie Green.
Yeah, big battle between these 2 Brits here in the DTM. Just looking further down, David Coulthard having a good run in 9th place. Albuquerque, who didn't qualify so well, has moved up to 8th. Prio still there in 6th, best of the BMs. So, pit stop window, laps 10 through lap 40. Nobody's dived in immediately. Because of these tyres being so consistent, we expect the race to be broken up into 3 equal parts. Having said that, there's Prio coming in the Crown Plaza car, maybe just trying to get himself a bit of a window. And what about the first quick pit stop for BMW? 7 seconds, 4 seconds off the pace, really, Dave.
Right.
You know, we regularly saw 3-second stops, so this team haven't done that before. Very different sort of pit stop to what the team are used to. The Belgian team he runs for in the World Touring Car Championship in the past. Schumacher so making a stop early on. So Prio, has he got himself some fresh air? And well, that was a bit of a tricky release there from Molina. So lots of pit activity already. And JB Green chiseled another tiny bit off Paffett's lead. So the 2 Brits together. Both have had McLaren test contracts in the past. Paffett's still very much a McLaren man. Off to Mugello next week. We're testing. We understand that Lewis Hamilton's decided to join that test now.
So we're on board with Gary Paffett and
Eck is in.
Yep, Ekstrom is in. Now something about those Mercedes cars, and we saw it from that on-board shot, Andrew, bounce a lot at the front, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They seem to be set up in a different way with the damper settings. There you see.
There's
a pit stop for you. 3.3 seconds from the App Sport team of Ekstrom. So obviously not quite so used to pit stopping these cars. Unlike Formula One, they have pneumatic jacks that lift them up. They plug the airline in and up they go. Because in Formula One, they're using lightweight jacks which they slide under and lift the car. The Formula One teams have got down pretty close to the DTM times now. The pit stops coming thick and fast as Werner, who promised so much, comes in. Only said that's not bad. 9.1. And out comes Werner in the German post office colours. They're a big sponsor of the series, so they get their colours also on 3 cars in the race, one of each manufacturer. But look at this. This is so close between these two. Both with the top HWA team as Green comes in. Green is in. Paffett stays out.
So this will be a good one to watch the clock, Andrew.
Yeah, I said that I expected pit stops to come at a third and 2/3 through the race, and that's we're pretty well there, aren't we?
So some brilliant imagery of this pit stop being.
See those jacks?
Yes.
See them go down, off it goes. As the car's falling off the jacks, pretty well dropping the clutch. Doesn't always go to plan.
No.
We've seen the fuel cans stuck before now with the dump cans, and there's Coulthard. He'll be fired up a bit. Well, it's taken a long time. 5.3, quite up to spec.
So then Coulthard back out, and now leading this race, it is Gary Paffett, who of course has yet to make one of his mandatory pit stops. Jamie Green, the first of the leading pair to go in. So now Gary Paffett got a bit of air in front of him, Andrew, and you were saying that these cars really like the air.
They certainly do. Paffett there with the sponsorship on it now. Timo Scheider into the pits. It's a horrid race for him, but trying to make the best of a bad job, really. Who was that just went wide there? Was that Prio?
That went round.
Well, that went round here. We'll see that in replay in a moment. Yeah, that was Prio. And he was tapped. So Paffett now comes in the Thomas Sabo jewellery back car. And now, of course, the big question is, will Paffett come back on before or after green?
Yes.
And it's all down to these boys here. Can they do a mega quick one? It's going to be a mega quick one. 3.2 seconds. He almost stalled it. Almost stalled it. And here he comes. And Paffett trying to get up to speed. And of course, it's not just about the pit stop. It's about the in and the out. And I think Jamie's got just enough run on him, has he? Oh, and he turns in and they're side by side. But there is it. Track flicks left. But they're still side by side. They're going to race the whole way around Hockenheim, wheel to wheel, wheel nut to wheel nut, mirror to mirror. And of course, Gary's got to go the long way round this bit. And they're still there.
This is absolutely incredible. They are virtually welded together, those cars.
Yeah, but then for the hairpin, Paffett had the line. And that, so Gary Paffett benefits from that lightning fast pit stop.
Yes.
So, great racing between these two teammates. At the moment, Rob Wickens is up to third place because he has not made a stop yet. So we've got BMW. Where's the best BMW at the moment? Just looking down. Rio, I think, in 11th.
So in the stadium section they are now, Paffett and Green. And as Andrew was saying, an excellent pit stop from Gary Paffett's team enabled him to get out and then run side by side with Jamie Green for many, many turns, but making it stick into the hairpin. That's where he finally managed to get it.
They weren't going to go around the hairpin side by side.
No, that's right.
Sure. So Rocky's still hanging in there. Look, Wickens shown in 4th place in the Mercedes. Albuquerque 9th. Prio now 10th. Susie Wolf is up to 12th. I presume she hasn't made a pit stop. Coulthard 13th. Farfus, Schumacher, Reha Frey. But, well, we're not even up to halfway yet. Gary Paffett just on a purple first sector. He must like these new tyres he's got on. That'll pull him a little bit away from Jamie Green. The whole pit stop routine cost him, that's coming in and going out, cost him about 16 seconds. That's quick. Damage there.
Yes, damage on the front of Mortara's car, and he's under some pressure from Vitoris. This was 6th place at the moment. Be interesting to find out where that damage was caused.
Well, was that incident with
of course.
Prio? Yeah.
Yes, of course. So there we have Mortara then. Damage on the front of that car, Vitoris.
We can hear from Timo Scheider down there with Verena.
Also for Timo, the race ended way too soon. You had a spin in the very beginning, but why did the race end for you now?
Well, after Ralph hit me in turn 3 and spun me around, I was last. After that, I had a quite good performance coming from the last. I catch some cars and I felt quite good. But then I had a fight with Mary, and I think he had to learn how driving with the DTM car has to be, because it looked like that the winter was just a little bit too long for him.
And all in all, why is so much happening? Do you think it's also because the racetrack is so full with 22 cars?
Well, I think that's possible for other racing series with more cars, but I think that's tough anyway with 3 manufacturers now, but in the end we have to look after each other and have a proper and fair racing, but not like this.
All right, thank you very much, Timo. Back to Andrew and Dave.
Yeah, not happy Timo Scheider, pointed the finger at Ralph, pointed the finger at Roberto Merri.
Yes.
So a bit of a bloody pinball, wasn't he?
Yes.
Thought he'd been on a Dodgem car.
Yes, he was unhappy, wasn't he? He'd been knocked around quite a bit there. So Mortara and Vitoris then continuing this battle for what is now 5th place.
Yeah, Christian Vitoris last year was in the DTM, but also in GP2, and he won a couple of races towards the end of the season. Very difficult to split yourself between 2 very different series like that. And Vittori's doing a good job. I mean, just looking at it at the moment, it's really good for Mercedes. Got 3 Mercedes in the top 6, 1, 2 and 6. And we've got 3 Audis running together, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Comparison here of Mortara and Vittoris. And what is happening with the Paffett Green battle. It's 0.3 of a second at the moment. The green's just gone purple on the timing screens with a very good first sector.
That was interesting. You mentioned there that Vittoris, of course, now over free practice and qualifying, Andrew, we saw Vittoris off the track quite a lot, didn't we? He had a torrid time of it, but he's got it all together, certainly so far for the race.
Driver come up through the ranks with a lot of support from the German automotive and automobile industry in Euro F3, and this is a good little battle between these two.
So at the moment, that little battle being led by Edo Mortara then. Finished 9th overall in DTM last year.
Yeah.
Being hounded by Christian Vittoris. Just looking at the Paffett Green situation right at the front. Paffett Green, Ekstrom, the 1, 2, 3. There, the graphics of Mortara and Vittoris on your screen.
Second year of the Hankook tyres in the DTM, but completely different tyres to last year. They've been developed from a basis of a LMP tyre. It's quite a bit taller and they're wider. These cars, they say, have got more mechanical grip than before, but maybe a little bit less aero grip. Although they still have pretty good aero grip, I can assure you.
And talking about aero, you were saying that in the design of these new cars, of course, all new for this year, some of those almost irritating little fins and drive bits have been taken out of the equation.
They've been eliminated. Still getting a pretty solid debut here from Andy Prio. He is the highest placed driver who is new to the DTM. I mean, Andy's been up for this. He wanted BMW to be in the DTM before they'd even thought of it. Remember talking to him at Le Mans at least 3 years ago. This is where I want to be. Just absolutely supreme in the World Touring cars. But we've got a lot more horsepower now. Andy Prio, unusual start to his career as a hill climber. Was a British hill climb champion, believe it or not, following in the footsteps of his dad as a hill climber.
So Prio then trying to chase down Albuquerque as we're back with this damaged front of Mortara.
Heading to a half distance now, Dave.
Doesn't appear to be affecting Mortara, does it? The damage at the front of that car. Is it? Mortara dives in now.
Oh, Mortara's got a drive through now, and that's a non-respect to the pit lane speed limit. So that's gonna. Oh no, well, it's not what it says on my screen. Yeah, there's a drive-through. Yeah, there's another drive-through coming up, I think, Dave. Just Wickens got a drive-through. He's the one actually that didn't respect the pit speed limit. There he is. And
so, yes, you're right.
And yeah, the 21 car, Mortara. We're getting quite a lot of penalties dished out. I saw that girl running, and usually when you see those girls running with notes in their hand, could be another penalty coming up yet. But out front, it's still those Mercs. We're not seeing much of them.
No, Paffett now with some 1.5 over Jamie Green, according to the last lap timed. Ekstrom, well, he's some very nearly 10 seconds behind those. So those two really have broken away, haven't they?
They sure have. Rockefeller there pretty firmly in 4th place. And then Vittoris, Mortara, Albuquerque, keeping his nose clean, and Prio, then Molina. Coulthard in 10th, still hanging in there.
So let's go on board now with Prio. Looking forward to Albuquerque from one of his front bumper cams. This is really great shot around the Hockenheim circuit. We can see absolutely as low down as it's possible to be what it's like at the front of that BMW.
Yeah, look at those grandstands absolutely wrapped with people. And all these guys, as we said, for the first time in the DTM using the paddle shift. There's all sorts of other changes. These cars, the old DTM cars, always had one bit of the old car, the actual, the car that they resemble, the road car, and it was the roof. But even that's gone. There's no steel roofs anymore. We've got...
So this is Augusto Farfus then, who is hunting down David Coulthard. Good showing from Coulthard in 9th place. Augusto Farfus then in 10th. And there we can see the graphics on the screen that give us the last 2 or 3 laps, the difference between them.
Yeah, David's such a busy man, isn't he, with all his TV commitments, and you know, he's got quite a lot of interest in various businesses as well, and maybe can't get quite as much time as the car as he would like, but we're assuming these cars are quite a bit stiffer, Dave, than the old ones, with the carbon chassis compared with the tubular steel, maybe a bit more to David's liking, and of course it is, you know, he's been in this championship a little while now. So this will be his 3rd season. Just had a couple of point scoring runs.
So down there with Bruno Spengler now is Verena Wright.
And here's another upset BMW driver, Bruno Spengler. That was very unfortunate as well. Your bonnet flew through the air. What happened there in the collision?
Well, yeah, well, first of all, my start was okay, and well, it was the first couple of laps were a bit tricky, but I managed to get myself through. I overtook Adrien Tambay again, and he was quite fair with me. And then I overtook Ralph on the straight, exiting. I had a better exit than him, and the corner before he made a mistake. So I was quite in front of him, but he braked just way too late into the crash into my teammate. And I had nowhere to pass. Didn't have anywhere to pass, and I just had to touch him. Unfortunately, I lost my bonnet. I mean, from an old Formula 1 driver, I would expect a little bit more fairness and a little bit more intelligence in racing, but that's the way it is now. There's nothing I can do. We had a very good car today also, but I'm just looking forward to the next races, to be honest. And I mean, it's a great story which starts, and really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Bruno, and back to you guys.
Punch is not pulled today.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. He was telling it the way he felt it was.
I think he was telling it the way pretty well we saw it was as well. Look at that. Now you see the lead. Paffin is pulled away from Green. Paffin, a former DTM champion. Green not. Green would love to take this title. He feels it's his time, but Paffin obviously working his car very well at the moment, getting the best out of the package. There, nice shot of Prio. Sorry, nice shot of Joey Hand, I should say. Still getting used to these colour schemes. Joey Hand already had a good victory for BMW this year. There's Farfus coming in. Won the GT category of Sebring. Absolutely incredible finish there. Battles with Corvettes and the Ferraris right to the flag.
And of course, Joey from another...
Nobody was... Do you see that? Farfus didn't stop. Didn't stop. Came in. Nobody was ready.
Goodness me.
Inexperience again. Inexperience of the BMW squads. Farfus driving for this Belgian team. Bart Manthe runs it. And of course, you know, that's going to lose him 17, 18 seconds. And, well, that will ruin any chance. Watch it, watch it. Comes in.
No one there.
Slides it in, no one there. I think they might have been there, Dave. I think it was carrying too much speed and couldn't stop.
Couldn't stop.
No, I think that's the way it was.
So the situation there is he'll have to do that again.
Oh yeah, of course.
But you know what you were saying, perhaps about well.
Yeah. See on our new graphics, you've got the spots of how many pit stops they've made, and it's also that's replicated in the side windows actually. So we've got See, the first person to stop twice is David Coulthard, so that's why he's back down to 12th. But he's in, he's in good shape, I think, DC, for certainly getting some points.
So there was Farfus we just saw there.
Yeah, Molina. Oh, you hear the tire screech? That's unusual. Never heard that last year. They've got the wheels on quickly, but seem to be a slightly slow away. It's still a good stop.
This time.
They're on a learning curve.
Of course they are.
So difficult coming into the DTM like this.
But as you said, that will have hurt Farfus now, won't it? Because
I'll drop him back 2 or 3 places, I suppose. Should just recap the top 10. David and Paffett and Green, the 2 British Mercs at the front. Ekstrom, Rockefeller, Vitoris, Albuquerque. Andy Prio now shown in 7th, Molina, and Roberto Meri, and then at the moment shown Farfus. I think we're going to see him dropping behind David Coulthard in a moment.
Farfus came out.
Indeed, on the graphics on our actual TV set seem more advanced than the ones on our timing monitor at the moment.
So at the moment, just watching this battle here with David Coulthard, who's heading up that battle at the moment.
Yeah, that was Coulthard overtaking Molina. And then Wicken's right behind them in the red Stern car. See how DC did it. Slightly different livery to last year. Got DHL on the side of the car because the German Post Office, which is privately owned, owns DHL. Was there a nudge? I think DC, I think it was the old elbows out there. That's one thing, being whacked hard by Ralf Schumacher is another, isn't it?
Yes. So Joey Hand now back out, having been into the pits.
Yeah, Joey in 17th place.
You were talking about his racing history. His dad, a former dirt stock car racer.
Yeah, Joey has got good history from Sacramento, California. It's been a big battle for Joey to get to be a professional racing driver. Been around quite a long time.
So there is Paffett. There is Green.
The gap now. Just see it coming up on your timing screen. 2.3 seconds. Paffett inching away now in this second half of this opening round of the 2012. It's all new for this year DTM. New and improved, just like your favourite washing up liquid. Rio into the pits. From the camera it looks good. So saw Rockefeller in the pits ahead of him.
No, that was a better one, wasn't it?
Yeah, they get in there, aren't they? They practice it in the workshop. There's nothing like doing it in the heat of the moment with a lot of cars around you.
So Paffett, Green, Ekstrom. And then Vitoris in 4th place. There once again is David Coulthard.
DC shown in 7th now. Look at that, Dave. 4 British drivers in the top 7. Makes us Brits proud. And so another drive-through penalty, we think.
And that's Augusto Farfus.
Yeah, well, that was when he came diving in before, I'd say. Never stopped.
Yes, of course.
Because he actually, when he decided he wasn't going to stop, he put his foot back in it. So, Farfus is going to drop right through. He's shown in 14th at the moment. He's going to be dropping back. So, Susie Wolf is up in 12th place, the former Susie Stoddard. Now with that Formula One Williams test contract. I think she's mainly going to be doing simulator work, some straight line runs, but I think she's going to get a decent run at some stage in the season. As Taurus goes out in the colours we've seen on a number of other cars over the years, the Mercedes-Benz bank colours. Rockefeller blast by.
Yes, I have to say, I look at that colour and always think Bruno Spengler.
Yeah, you always think Bruno Spengler, don't you, with those colours?
So Paffett then with a very healthy 2.4 second advantage over Jamie Green, and then some 15-second advantage over Ekstrom in third place.
Just monitoring these times from Paffett and Green. Paffett just lapping 0.2, 0.3 of a second consistently quicker than Jamie.
And Paffett and Green, the 1 and 2 in this, as we see Paffett in now.
Yeah, Paffett's in. So again, we've got to have this situation. Where's he going to come out relative to Green? There's Gary Paffett. Oh, nice shot. Wasn't off the visor. Great TV work there. And 3.2 second slot. And just bogging down a little bit, not completely. And out goes Gary Paffett, and Ekstrom is in the Red Bull car. That was a 3.1er.
Very good.
Nice stop.
So I wonder whether we'll see Green in this time. There he is in that. I want to say silver, but it's not. It's chrome, isn't it?
Chrome, yeah.
So shiny that that Mercedes.
Paffett 17 Grand Prix, 17 DTM wins in his career. Green with 7. Jamie Green's 8th season in the DTM. Been continuous. Gary had 1 year out. Remember when he was doing a lot of testing for McLaren Formula 1 in the days when you could do quite a lot of testing. Still does a lot of simulator work in Woking.
So the helicam on Green now. And in he comes.
This is crunch time now. This is it. But Paffett's already top.
Yes.
So the chances of Green leapfrogging him now here are very small indeed. It'll only just get worse, really. In he comes. A quick one for that HW18, 3.6. Drops a fraction or 2 more to Paffett. So Paffett stays in front. There you see it quite clearly. But now, of course, will Jamie be a bit happier on this set of tyres? Maybe he didn't like that set so much. Racing drivers, they're very consistent. They're very similar. They just sometimes give a slightly different feel. And you often hear, I didn't like the second set. So we'll see what happens. Nearly, yeah, everyone that's running has made the second stop now. So we'll give you the order. See it on your screen. But it's Gary Paffett and Jamie Green. Then it's Ekstrom and Rockefeller Victorious. Prio doing a good job. David Coulthard, Molina, Ralph Schumacher, who's in the wars early on. Albuquerque, Mortara, Wolf, Fry, the 2 girls running together. Berto Meri in his first DTM race. Joey Hand in his first DTM race. Ron Wickens in his first DTM race. Farfus and Werner all in their first DTM races. So the rookies pretty well running as a block down there. Apart, of course, from Andy Prio, who's up in 6th. Prio's had a long career in racing. Was quite successful in Formula 3 and really put his marker down when he dominated a Renault Sports Car Championship all those years ago. So much a part of the scene at the World Touring Car Championship, and subsequently for BMW at Le Mans, some of their long distance races last year. Now what's this replay about, Dave? Well, it's about the spin. See how it happens. Oh, there's Rockefeller in Vitoris.
So we've got Verena now with the Abt team boss. Verena.
Yes, I'm here with Hans-Jürgen Abt. Now, Ekström in the very beginning had a lock-up and thus lost the leading role to Mercedes. But now, do you have an ace up your sleeve how you can still pick up the speed, or is Mercedes-Benz too strong today?
You can see Mercedes is really too fast for us on this weekend. We have not the chance to follow them, and we must work for the future to find out where they can go so quick. And we will see what's going on. But in the end, now he's trying to save his tires and make no promise that we can reach the third place.
All right, thank you so much, and back to you two.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was Dirk Werner we saw going round. He's the it was an e-post car. Pretty sure it was Dirk Werner.
So Hans-Jürgen Abt there saying that actually the Mercedes, as if we needed telling that, are very, very strong, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely. So Paffett and Green is now 2.8 seconds after the second pit stop. That's the gap, 2.8 seconds. And Gary Paffett is 3/4 of the way through the race now. The pit stop window has closed. And this is a good battle coming towards the end of the race. Rockefeller and Vitoris.
Yes.
Mike Rockefeller came out of the Porsche Carrera Cup and then a junior driver, did a lot of driving for the Porsche teams in the United States, and was hired by Audi. First year at Le Mans had an accident, second year at Le Mans won, third year at Le Mans had an absolutely huge shunt.
Yes, and such a shunt.
It was in the night. There weren't any really proper pictures. He was tipped by an amateur American driver in a Ferrari, absolutely fastest place.
Vitoris now.
Vitoris so challenging.
He really is taking it to him, isn't he?
Yeah. Little cameo of a struggle here going on. And Mike Rockefeller doing his best to keep him at bay. 9 laps remaining.
As you were saying, that shunt for Rockefeller at Le Mans actually caused him to miss a round of the DTM.
He did. And
we've got TK back in to
yeah,
substitute.
he did a good job, well in the points. There's Gerhard Unger from the HWA team. And Ernst Moser, the two team bosses of these two drivers. Ernst Moser from Phoenix Racing, just outside the confines of the Nürburgring. They also run programs for Audi with the R8 GT LM car. They'll be gearing up for the Nürburgring 24 hours in the next month's time. So always in Germany an important race to win. Jamie Green though, 134.9.
So that's brought the gap down to I say just 2.5, but it has.
Maybe it's just happy on those tyres there, you see. There's the gap. Now it's diminished. Yeah, just Schumacher overtaking Molina. There he is, still Ralph with those green mirrors. Bright or yellow, day glow yellow if you will. There you got Albuquerque in that little trio as well. And that's 9th, 10th and 11th. So about picking up a point or two. And there is Schumacher down the inside. Goes Ralph. Winner at 6 Grand Prix with the Williams BMW team and joined Toyota. Didn't know what Dave hasn't won a race, I think, since, which was a Grand Prix, for 9 years.
Well, There we are.
But maybe this season he'll get it all together in the DTM and surprise us all. So, Paffett being reeled in a bit by Jamie Green at the moment. The gap's now 2.2 seconds. Harry Paffett in the lead from Jamie Green. Ekstrom, Rockefeller, Vitoris, and there the current champion watches on, making a face for our camera. Obviously very disappointed not to still be in the action. There's no question or doubt about it. Green is closing in, getting right onto his back bumper, possible, getting by Gary Paffett with a checkered flag to be waved in the next few laps, different matter. This battle also continues with Rockefeller and Vitoris. And it's Prio doing an excellent job in 6th place. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Shows that BMW have got considerable pace in their car already. And no question of doubt, very big crowd here today. Looking down from our helicopter. Paffett, Green and Ekstrom been in the top 3 for a long time now. Just scrutinising these times from the top drivers. Paffett just pulling away a little bit more from Green, certainly in the first sector. Still looking down on that battle. There's that blue car. Albuquerque, Team Rosberg running that one. Jensen, team set up by Keke Rosberg originally. Nico raced for them in Formula 3. And Vitoris looking as he's trying to make a move. Vitoris tries around the outside, but Rocky blocks him as well he might. And Rockefeller still holding off Vitoris. This spirited battle here for 4th place. 2.3 seconds now. And yeah, that lap Green was a little bit slower than Gary. Looking for a British 1-2 then here in the DTM. And it's new coming. These cars, they all have the same basic chassis, but different engines, same transmission, gearbox from Hewland. Different suspensions, different bodies, different aerodynamics. I think it's around between 40 and 50 of the parts are common. Molina, Albuquerque, Mortara, that's that other good battle. Susie Wolf up there, having one of her best ever runs in the DTM, up in 12th place. She has been in the points in the past, but a good run from Susie Wolf under her new name, and still running in 14th. And we're getting the thumbs up in the Mercedes pits. Yeah. The man giving the thumbs up, one of the Mercedes board members, Dr. Weber. He seems happy with it. Huge support from the board for the DTM and Mercedes-Benz's racing program, Formula 1 as well, of course. There's Dr. Ulrich. And look at this, finally Vitoris, has he got it? Yes, he has. In the replay, Vitoris goes through. And yeah, that's the thumbs up from Dr. Weber. Vitoris moves up, so we've got 3 Mercedes in the top 4 now. Paffett, Green, Ekstrom, Vitoris, Rockefeller, Andy Prio there in 6th place. Ralph Schumacher. Last 5 laps here, Dave.
Interesting how it's developed over the course of the race and race pace, because, and there we see, oh, that was close. As I was saying, the race pace, Andrew, because during the likes of the free practice and the qualifying that we've watched so closely.
Was that DC? Was it being overtaken there? Yeah, Ralph. That was Ralph from DC.
Yes.
Yeah.
The manufacturers, the spread across the speed has been quite even, but now in race conditions and race pace, well, Mercedes, you have to say, dominant.
Yeah, but it won't stay like that for long, I wouldn't have thought.
No.
So DC just dropping behind Ralph, and Ralph's had a spirited drive, getting involved in a couple of early tangles, but this is one of the best performances we've seen from Ralf Schumacher in the DTM.
We're watching Andy Priaulx here now. Andrew, you know Andy Priaulx extremely well. He'll be pleased with this performance?
Well, no question down about that. It's a good start for BMW. When you've got 5 teammates and you come out top, you're always going to be pleased. And Priaulx, I feel, just look at the time. Is he closing up on Rockefeller? So, yes, he is. Taking some time out of Rocky. I wonder if he can get close to the Crown Plaza Hotel backed BMW, a long-time supporter of BM. We do a lot of promotions for the sponsor. So this is one of the interests now in the race. And the gap seems to stabilise now between Paffett and Green. Green just, in fact, dropped half a second that last lap. There is the Roberto Merri car with bits flying off the back of it.
So there we are, that is the chase now. Priaulx trying to reel in Rockefeller.
Yeah, we got that battle midfield with the likes of Albuquerque, Molina. The 2 from the Iberian Peninsula racing together. Adrian Tambe, of course, was out early, as was Spengler, as was Tomczyk, as was Timo Scheider. We've heard from 3 of those. Ekstrom, just give you some idea, Ekstrom's 15 seconds behind the 2 flying Mercedes-Benz. To the closing laps here. And, well, one of the last acts here is the Rockefeller versus Priaulx for the top 5 finish, with the Priaulx closing in. Susie Wolf in the purple car, TV magazine backed. There you see Priaulx, you see how much closer he is now. It says on the screen 0.5, that was the previous time around. It looks like less than 0.5 now. Priaulx closing up on the former Le Mans winner. Audi, of course, in the diesel. Audi also getting that program. They're running 4 cars this year, and very interesting technological features. But here at the DTM, great start to the Mercedes season. Audi just not quite having the pace. There is Ekstrom in the 3rd position. Torres. Rockefeller goes through 4th, 5th, and Priaulx 6th. Still a nice day here. It's been pretty warm. We've got 2 laps remaining. If we went on time, there's be 7.5 minutes. We'll get those 2 laps in. And the Track temperature is 35 degrees, the actual air temperature there, 24.5. Pleasant spring day here in Baden-Württemberg. We're about an hour south of Frankfurt on the Autobahn. Keep going and you'll get to Stuttgart.
So Rockefeller and Prio then, that is...
yeah. Two of the BMW board members there in the pits, Mr. Drago, Mr. Robertson. They're all coming out for this. We've had all sorts of big names here. We've seen drivers like Formula 1 drivers like Nico Rosberg was here demonstrating a wonderful old Merc yesterday, Jack Hicks. But well, it's turning out to be a great 2012 for Norbert Haug. We just saw there, we've had the first Mercedes Grand Prix victory in the full Mercedes name, and now they're going to start off the new DTM, which is so important to them, with a 1-2-4 result by the look of things. Everything's not quite finished yet, and Prio is now within a second of Rockefeller, but there Gary Paffett looking for another DTM victory to add the long list that he has, 17 to date. Family man, lives near Newmarket. Three boys that are a bit of a handful sometimes, Harvey, Freddie and Alfie. As I said, a big fan of Arsenal. And I'm sure winning here will bring him more pleasure than even Arsenal winning the Premiership. Although I'm not so sure, having seen some of his tweets on the subject.
We are on the last lap, and this Gary Paffett then, last time we looked, he had some 4.2 second advantage over Jamie Green. And Andrew.
There he is, taking the flag, the first winner of the new DTM. It's Gary Paffett from Britain for the three-pointed star, and Jamie Green backs him up well, having given him a tough old struggle, and it's certainly Mercedes-Benz in the ascendant. Brilliant work over the winter, brilliant work all last summer with a new car, and Gary Paffett puts behind him an awful 2011 to start the season well. I think all the teams are going to be happy with today. Prio not quite making it against Rockefeller there at the end, but he'll be pleased with that. Best of the BMW runners, Paffett, Green, Ekstrom, then Vittorius, Rockefeller and Prio, Ralf Schumacher and David Coulthard, the two ex-Formula 1 veterans, having a good little battle for 7th place. Molina 8th, and Albuquerque, the two Iberian drivers, Mortara, and then after that, Susie Wolf finishes in 12th place. Joey Hand 13th, Rob Wickens, the Canadian, 14th.
And now with Verena is a very happy, I'm sure, Norbert Haug.
Yes, indeed, a very, very happy Norbert Haug. As you can see, the smile is going from one ear to the other, and we are live, Mr. Haug. So may I just get this interview, because I want to congratulate you. What a phenomenal race for you, a double victory. What a way to go. You were unstoppable.
Was great. This was great. I mean, this is so important for the guys who worked so hard to get the first victory and then a 1-2. I mean, the guys were in a class of their own, both of them. So that was really, really amazing and great job. And thank you. Thanks to all of them, and thanks to Gerhard Unger and all the HWA guys from the Mügge, from the Pearson team. Great, great team effort. Thank you all.
And looking into the future, I bet it can continue like this.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I mean, it will swap around. You cannot have a 1-2 everywhere, but I think we have a good basis. We didn't expect the best in qualifying, but it's today when it counts, and we did the perfect job, and so thanks to the guys.
All right, thank you very much, Norbert Haug. Wow, back to you guys.
Yeah, Norbert, no, give me a kiss.
Andrew, I'd be pleased about that, if I'm honest.
The team, pressure of developing these new cars, and they really have worked so well here. So looking forward to hearing from the drivers, and I know that Verena will be working hard down there to get plenty of interviews. Confirmation of the results. We've said it already, we'll do it once more. Paffett Green, Ekstrom, Vitoris, Rockefeller, Prio, and then after that, Ralf Schumacher, Coulthard, Molina, and Albuquerque, your top 10. And a huge crowd here. See how close that auto bar is to the edge of with the colours of the Thomas Sabo Jewellery Company. I've got a shop in Regent Street and a number of other places around the UK. It's a German company though, based in Nuremberg, I believe. And, well, Norbert's got some friends tonight.
Yes. So there is Paffett then, and well, as you said, Andrew, puts behind him what was a rotten year last year.
One thing that's a little strange about Hockenheim, at the October race, when it finishes, spectators always let off thunder flashes, and we always have a load of fireworks as well. But I understand why we don't have the fireworks, because it's not the last race, it's the first, but we don't have any of the thunder flashes.
No.
It seems to be something you do in October.
Right. Okay.
Here they all are in the Parc Fermé, and drivers will be climbing out, and the traditional banging on the barriers. There's Jamie Green with that Dayglow yellow crash helmet, and Gary Paffett with the rippled Union Jack on the back of his helmet.
Yep.
Father of three. And look, I like to see that.
Yep.
You know, Jamie's happy, just outpaced by Gary a little bit. And I just wonder if Jamie, just saw him flex his leg there, his right leg, Dave. I just wonder if he got a little bit of cramp or something. There's Ty Gardner,
yes.
Old Ty, who's one of his management team. And Jamie still hasn't got his crash helmet off yet. Gary's just taking his off. So from this, and then in a Formula 1 car in a couple of days in Mugello, completely different. Congratulating his mechanics and all the HWA team. Here again, the result, Dave, take us through it.
Yes, the 1 through 10, Gary Paffett then taking the win, Jamie Green second, Matthias Ekstrom third, Christian Vitoris fourth, Rockefeller fifth, Prio very creditable sixth, Ralf Schumacher seventh, David Coulthard eighth, good showing from DC, Miguel Molina then ninth, Felipe Albuquerque in 10th place, and Eduardo Mortara there in 11th place.
It's a team effort. Gets the champagne, but we can go down to the grid. Or we thought we could. Verena thought she got someone. Sure she'll have them in a moment. Yeah, quick word for Gary's engineer, Jürgen Eberhardt. They work well together as a team. And now we can hear from Jamie Green.
Yes, here I am with Jamie. Congratulations. That certainly was a tough race. And between you and Gary, my God, that was just really wheel to wheel for a very long time. How do you feel about the race?
Yeah, I'm happy with second place. I'm not over the moon. I would have liked to get the win, but Gary had a good first pit stop and we came out side by side and had a nice little battle. But in the first race of the year with your teammate, you definitely don't want to have an incident. And I thought it was better to keep it fair and clean and get a 1-2, which is great for Mercedes.
And you guys really dominated the race, so I guess it gives you a very good feeling for the next race as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know what to expect, so this is the first real acid test, and I think we showed what we can do, so it's a nice feeling for the whole team that we've done such a good job to build this great car, so it's a good start.
But quite honestly, it's pretty full out there on the racetrack, isn't it? I mean, a lot of things happened today.
Yeah, it's a tough race, it's a long race now, and it's good to get the first race under our belts, and I think we're in good shape for the rest of the year, so I'm happy.
I bet you are. Thank you so much, Jamie. And I'm going to try to grab Gary in just a second. Hopefully I will. I'm pretty sure I will. So I'll be back in just a few moments with Gary, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks very much, Frida. Good work down there. And remember, of course, it's all happening again in a week's time. Here are the points. Gary Paffett gets on this new scoring system 25. Green is 18, Ekstrom 15, Torres 12, 10 to Mike Rockefeller, 8 to Prio, Ralf Schumacher with 6, Coulthard with 4, Molina 2, and 1 to Albuquerque. Matara, of course, finishing 11th out of the points. So the top 10 now getting points here in the DTM. Amazingly, Dave, look at that grandstand already clearing. Going to be a traffic jam somewhere.
So down back to Verena, who has got Gary now.
Yeah, now finally I did get Gary, and that certainly is a winner's smile here. Gary, congratulations. What a phenomenal race for you.
It was amazing. You know, we knew we had a quick car, but until you get in the race, you don't know. And already in the first few laps, I knew the car was good, you know, and I had a few cars to get past. There was a bit of fighting. I managed to get past the Audis pretty quickly. We pulled a big gap at the start, and then it was just a fight between me and Jamie. We sorted it out pretty quickly and then disappeared. So incredible race, incredible.
It really was. Congratulations again. Thank you very much, Gary. And back to you.
Yeah, Gary Paffett is certainly back big time. The 2005 champion here. Some of the fans happy. Seen a lot of motor racing today and yesterday with Porsche Racing, Formula 3, of course.
And now with Dr. Ulrich, here's Verena once again.
And I'm here with Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich. That was quite a tough race with Matthias Ekström starting in pole but then ending in 3. He did one mistake and he just couldn't pick up this speed. Mercedes was very, very strong today. How do you feel about a 3rd place and a 5th place?
Yeah, I have to say after the really good performance we had yesterday in qualifying, we just couldn't find the same performance level today for the race. And this was why we struggled a little bit. We made 3 and 5. It's not too bad starting the season. For sure, after qualifying like this, you always think you can win the race. But we know we have strong competitors, so congratulations to Mercedes, and we will try to beat back in the next race.
I'm sure you will. Thank you very much, Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich, and back to Andrew and Dave.
Yeah, he'll be a little disappointed, no question doubt about that. There's Jamie Green, smile on his face, up the stairs. And heading towards the podium. As the fans are now on the track and getting ready to receive all the awards. And that was the 2 Brits embracing as they climbed out of the car. There'll be awards for the top 3 and the top team. Top team, I understand, Patrick Tambay, father of Adrian Tambay, went out of this race early on his DTM debut. Patrick Tambay will be presenting the team award. And, yeah, Eki needs to sit down.
Yes. That's the scene behind the podium before the celebrations proper get underway, and Gary hasn't stopped smiling, and rightly so.
No. It was such a tough year for him last year. I don't think he really knew why he wasn't at his normal pace. It probably was just not understanding the tyres enough, but he certainly understands these tyres and this car.
For sure.
Yeah, nice little moments for the drivers here. Up there, it's quite quiet just before you go on the podium. But there he does, and there it gets really noisy. And he jumps in the air, Gary Paffett. The other 2 climb onto the podium, and nice to see Ekström congratulating them. Started from the pole, couldn't translate that in a win today. And now we're going to get the national anthem. Shot there at DC, being congratulated by Norbert Haug. Good run for him. I'm sure the hairs were standing up on the back of Gary Paffett's neck when that was sung so beautifully.
It was sung very beautifully. What a vocalist she is, my goodness.
And he almost grabbed the trophy of Stefan Muller, Gary. He just grabbed the trophy off him. It wasn't handed to him. He grabbed it as he grabbed the victory today. And Patrick Tambay presenting the award there to, I believe, Mr. Hubert Hugo. Jamie Green was pointing to something, I'm not sure what it was. And Lord Mayor of Hockenheim, Dieter Gummer, presents the third place trophy. Norbert Haug down there. And now the photographs, and then we'll have the bubbly Jürgen Pippig, the PR director of Audi, down there as well. Here it comes. Good for the dry cleaning industry.
Yes, Andrew, right there.
That certainly was an amazing first race of the DTM season 2012. Mercedes-Benz clearly dominated this race. Absolutely they did. Now Audi needs to fight back, and I guess BMW certainly needs to find their race pace. And because we've got the race already coming up next weekend, not a lot of time there, but surely it is going to be just as exciting, if not even more exciting. So you don't want to miss it, and I'll see you next weekend at the Lausitzring. Till then, bye-bye.
This is ESPN.